When I bought this peaceful lakeside property, I imagined myself fishing, listening to birdsong, and escaping the noisy world. What I didn't imagine was waking up one day to see a massive dock built right on my land by the HOA without even asking. They called it a service to the community. I called it illegal construction. And guess what? I made them pay over $50,000 to tear it down. When I bought this lakefront land 12 years ago, I didn't buy it to get rich. I bought it for peace. A fishing rod, a few cold beers, and the sunset slipping behind the trees, that was my American dream. Then, one fine morning, I stepped out and saw a giant concrete dock staring me in the face. Sure, it was well built, but there was one tiny detail they missed. It was entirely on my land. And guess who built it? None other than the local HOA angels, people who think they're a mini government with a ping pong club budget. They thought they won. But nope, I made them pay over $50,000 to dismantle that masterpiece. At first, I thought maybe they measured wrong, just a few inches. Nope, the dock was nearly 30 feet long, jutting straight into my lakefront, with pilings, planks, even sunset viewing benches, as if it were their resort. I asked the HOA about it. They said it was approved at the community meeting. Yeah, the meeting I was never invited to. On land I pay taxes for. When I emailed them requesting removal, they replied with a flyer inviting me to a barbecue on the dock. I guess their message was, "We stole your land, but here's a hot dog to make up for it." That's when I knew, no more nice guy. It was time to break out the land survey and call a lawyer. No more emails. I sent an official letter from my attorney, attached property maps, satellite photos, and the land deed, the kind of documents that make HOA folks choke on their sausages. A week later, Karen, the HOA president, called me back. Her voice was shaky but still tried to sound tough. "You can't monopolize the lake. It's a community resource." I said, "I'm not claiming the lake. I just don't want anyone pouring concrete on my land without permission." She threatened to take it to the county. I said, "Good, I'll get there first." And so the official removal demand, plus damage compensation and legal fees, went straight to the HOA. The game was on. The HOA held an emergency meeting. They sent me a friendly email offering to share the dock. They'd assign someone to monitor and clean it regularly, as if doing me a favor. I replied with one line, "No," and start budgeting for demolition. 3 weeks later, the court ruled. The dock was unauthorized, violated private property rights, and the HOA had 30 days to dismantle it and pay damages and legal fees, totaling over $50,000. The day the demolition crew arrived, I sat on my porch, sipping coffee, sunglasses on, watching the HOA's masterpiece turn into a pile of wood scraps. Karen stood across the lake, hands on hips, jaw hanging. It was truly clear the dock day. After the HOA's dock turned to mulch and Karen vanished from the board, I decided to reclaim my sacred land. I put up a huge sign, "Private property, trespassers will be photographed, fined, and humiliated." Installed cameras, and just for fun, set up a speaker that quacks loudly every time someone gets too close to the shore. Now, I get to hear water lapping, wind through the trees, not HOA debates about what shrubs to plant by the dock. My son calls this a classic dad win. Me, I call it certified peace of mind. So if one day you wake up and find the HOA building something on your property, don't yell, don't argue. Print your maps, call your lawyer, and grab a comfy chair to watch the takedown. If you think this $50,000 dock demolition was worth it, or at least worth a like, smash that button. And don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more HOA stories with Karens, lawyers, and even a remote-controlled lawnmower with a camera. True story. Stay tuned. Comment below if you've ever dealt with a reckless HOA. I raid them all and laugh at every single one.